In this lesson, we'll go over how to bill private insurers and some specific instructions for billing immunizations. After completing this lesson, you'll be able to identify the correct private insurance billing forms and describe how to find and use billing codes. In order to bill insurance for the service provided, the clinician who saw the patient must complete documentation, including all services provided at the visit and the diagnosis and procedure codes. The clinician also transfers the appropriate codes into the clinic's billing form, commonly known as a fee ticket or superbill. It's up to the designated billing team member to transfer that information onto the claim form or into the clinic's EMR. The CMS 1500 is the standard form for paper billing to private insurance companies. For your convenience, you can download the Private Insurance Billing Forms job aid when you're ready to get started. If you are billing electronically, use the 837P format. The P stands for professional, which is how local health departments are recognized by private payers. Check the payer's website or manual for instructions on completing their forms. When you submit a claim, the information you send is all the insurance company has to go on. In effect, your codes tell the insurer what happened during a medical visit. Start your claims documentation with why the patient came in for a service. In billing, the why is the diagnosis using the ICD-9 code. Next, the CPT codes tell them what procedures were performed. To find the most current ICD-9 codes, refer to the current year's ICD-9 CM manual. ICD-9 codes are updated annually. To make sure you're using the most up-to-date codes, you'll need to purchase the current code book. It's called the ICD-9 CM Diagnosis Code Book. You can order ICD-9 code books online at most retailers, including Amazon, or pay for online access. Be prepared to purchase the new version, published in October each year. A new revised coding system, ICD-10, is expected out in the near future. CPT codes are updated annually. To make sure you're using the most up-to-date CPT codes, you'll need to purchase the CPT book. It's called the CPT Standard Edition. You can order it online at most retailers, including Amazon, or pay for online access. Be prepared to purchase the new version published in January each year. For a refresher on these guides and where to order them, you can print out the downloadable job aid, Your Guide to Medical Code Books. There are two important things to know when billing private insurers for immunizations. First, you may only consider privately purchased vaccines at your clinic. You cannot bill for state-funded or VFC vaccines. Equally important, when you do bill for immunizations, you'll need to use 3 different codes for each vaccine. These include the diagnosis or why the patient is getting this vaccine, the vaccine code that specifies what vaccine was given, and a vaccine administration code that indicates the vaccine route or how the vaccine was given. These 2 tips and other information on billing will be available to you on the downloadable job aid, Your Billing Checklist. Now we'll look at each of these code types in more detail. Now let's review the codes for route of vaccine administration. For example, there are different CPT codes for intramuscular and intranasal vaccines. Here we see that the code 90471 is for any single injectable vaccine, while 90472 should be used for any additional injectable vaccines administered at the same visit. Code 90473 should be used for an intranasal vaccine like FluMist or oral vaccine like rotavirus. Use 90474 for additional doses given at the same visit. Let's walk through a billing and coding scenario. A 25-year-old female patient, Mary, comes to the clinic for her first HPV vaccination. She presents her Blue Cross PPO insurance as the payer source. Assume your clinic has a contract with Blue Cross.
Hi, this is Timmy Granados, Billing Coordinator, with some advice on how to proceed with our scenario. Let's review Mary's eligibility and coverage for this vaccine. I like to start with checking whether any coinsurance is due and the patient's deductible has been met. Fortunately, this process has become quite straightforward. Because of the Affordable Care Act, ACIP recommended immunizations are generally covered with no out-of-pocket cost to the patient. Mary meets ACIP's recommended age criteria of 9 to 26 for the HPV vaccine. Therefore, she is covered 100% with no out-of-pocket cost. The result is that Blue Cross will reimburse your clinic for both the cost of the vaccine and vaccine administration fee at their customary rate.
Here is Mary's CMS 1500 claim form. We've noted the cost of the HPV vaccine given, $142, and that the full reimbursement is owed from the patient's insurance company, Anthem Blue Cross. The patient pays no share of the cost. When billing for any service, the insurer may have a standard or negotiated rate they agree to pay for a specific service. You should always enter the amount allowable according to your health department's fee schedule. The insurer will make adjustments as needed. Continuing with Mary's HPV vaccination claim, we enter the Y or diagnosis information. This is reported on your claim using the ICD-9 code. In this case, it's VO489, the need for prophylactic vaccine and inoculation against other viral disease. Next, add what, meaning what treatment was given. The CPT codes give this information. For Mary's HPV vaccination, the CPT code is 90649 for the quadrivalent HPV vaccine Gardasil, given to a person aged 9 to 26. Remember that immunizations need 2 CPT codes. The second CPT code specifies the route of administration. Here, 90471 indicates Mary's administration of a single vaccine dose by injection. To file Mary's CMS 1500 form, your next step is to check the payer's website or manual for instructions to make sure you have all the information they require and how to submit the form. Typically, the claim's mailing address is also on the back side of the patient's insurance card. Now please follow the instructions to take the quiz for this lesson. It'll look familiar. It's the same one you took before viewing the lesson. This time you'll be able to see the correct answers as you respond to demonstrate what you've learned. After you've completed the quiz, you may continue at your own pace to view subsequent lessons at your convenience. The lessons are ordered so you'll build your knowledge of each part of the billing process that relates to your role. When you finish all the lessons, you'll be able to print out a certificate of completion to reward your efforts. Thanks for your attention. Please continue on to the quiz.